Welcome back to my series on light workers and entrepreneurship. So, here is what I wanted to talk about today. It's how your business struggles may not actually be yours. So, what I mean by this is that we actually go through a lot of we actually go through a lot of stages in entrepreneurship, and one of the stages in entrepreneurship is actually getting over our money struggles. And you know I have talked about this before about why do light workers have an issue charging a lot. And I also wanted to talk about the aspect of why do why do light workers have so many issues with their business in regards to money, which is a little bit of a more of a different and nuanced topic here. And I want to talk a little bit more about the ancestral lineage, the family lineage that comes around things like money. Um, and particularly how that could be a block that would need to be cleared if you didn't address it. There's a lot of these things would keep coming up if you don't address them, and ancestral lineage blockages, money blockages, are definitely one of them. And I'm going to tell you 3 ways on how you can start to heal those wounds and spot. I would say spotting those blocks and then healing those wounds. So one way you can spot the block is by undercharging. You undercharge like it's a family tradition. Prices may feel safe but leave you exhausted. You want to be and this was this and again this was something I had to go through recently. Your prices may feel safe, but they leave you super exhausted. Money is evil, people who are rich are evil. Those things, those limiting beliefs are things that come up in your mind. And they are very much generational scarcity patterns. Hold on, let me take a sip of my tea here. They're generational money blocks, and they do tend to repeat until they are healed. And again, this is very much a root chakra block. It's also a sacral and it's a sacral chakra block, which is that, and that is solar plexus. Those chakra blocks are very much an issue when it comes to your money wounds. So the way to heal a lot of this undercharging is to simply come to terms with the fact that you not only should have scarcity mindset, is to work on your scarcity mindset. I don't know if you guys ever read the book Rich as Fuck by Amanda Frances. Highly recommend it if you haven't read it. She talks a lot about those money mindset blocks that you have. She's a really, really successful money mindset coach. Multi I want to say she's not just she's a multiple 8-figure entrepreneur. Um and she comes from a place of overflow. Coming from a place of overflow is what is always going to lead you to success. And coming from a place of, I want to give a lot because I know I'm going to get coming from a place of let's give, and let's be of service because I have the mindset of overflow instead of, oh shoot, there's not enough here. Oh shoot, I'm afraid of giving away too much because that's what's in my programs. right? So we have there's those different mentalities. We we also we also have the mentality of, I also hear the mentality of, being afraid of charging because people won't come. Well, the right people will come. And believing that the right people will come will always lead you to having people that will come. So that is actually what's going to happen. Um, how to fix this? I actually work with different Hindu gods and goddesses, and of course, if you are Hindu, you can definitely work with them. If you're not Hindu, don't recommend working with a god or goddess that isn't of your religion. So I actually work with the goddess Lakshmi. Lakshmi, I'm going to take that back. You can work with Lakshmi as long as you know the correct way to work on it. Work with the Lakshmi. You can just ask Lakshmi to work with you. And give you abundance. Don't use the closed practice Hindu prayers. Please do not use the Lakshmi mantra. That is very much a closed practice. Don't use that. That is very much an appropriation. um, that I do see some people doing online. I actually see some people doing some of those Lakshmi mantras, and they're closed practices, you guys. They are very much closed practices, so don't use them. You can call upon Lakshmi. You can definitely have a picture of Lakshmi and call upon Lakshmi and ask for abundance, which I actually do a lot of the times. I don't have a Lakshmi mantra that I use, but you can use a Lakshmi mantra. You can also just there's very simple things like you can come up with your own mantra. You can come up with your own um, you can come up with your own thing and really work with your lower chakras to start to heal them with your root chakra, going into a root chakra meditation. 444, as I said that, coming into a root chakra meditation, grounding yourself, putting your bare feet into the grass, and actually asking the universe, Mother Gaia, to give you abundance. I will say this, and this was something extremely important that was brought up to me. When you ask something for the universe, you need to give something to the universe. And that is such an important step that I feel like so many of these coaches miss. In order to ask something to the universe, you need to give something to the universe. So, what are you willing to give to the universe to make that energy flow? Are you going to give space in your home to clean your home, to allow that energy to flow in? Are you going to offer a flower to the gods and goddesses in your room? Are you going to You need to offer something to the universe in order to get it back. So, in order to rewire some of these mindsets, you can do that. Work with work with the gods and goddesses, do a root chakra meditation, simply just imagining white light hitting straight to your root chakra and allowing Mother Gaia to release any of that negativity. That is another thing you can do. Another limiting belief that I also see is success feels dangerous. You end up self-sabotaging any big launches, procrastination, tech issues, feeling guilt when deposits hit your account. Your nervous system remembers ancestral punishments for prosperity. They absolutely do. So, how to regulate your nervous system around money? Shake it out. Shake it out. Imagine that you're in a club in 2005 and you are dancing and shaking your butt, shaking your ass, and like literally dancing to Flow Rida in the club. I'm being totally serious about that too. Like, that is actually one way to shake out your root and sacral. You can just literally move your hips. You can dance. You can do some hip movement, yogic exercises too. Um, or you can just give yourself a hug and shake when you're giving yourself a hug. You can also to open up the throat chakra, because throat chakra also, like, speaking about money is a throat chakra block too. Ooh, so is a throat chakra block too. So speaking about money is a throat chakra block. So make sure you guys are actually shaking, shaking it out, stretching, all of those things, moving your body. And here's the thing, when you self sabotage yourself, and because you're not feeling, because success doesn't, you have a big fear of success and how good you might be, you know, that is a thing that is a huge root, it's a huge lineage issue. And you can go and investigate to see where that's coming from, or you can just go into your chakra meditation and start telling people, and start telling the people in your lineage, in your meditation, that I no longer hold this in my body. And imagine yourself cutting those cords. I do in my work, I in my one-on-one coaching sessions, I actually do cut a lot of old money wounds and cutting the old cords of past things that no longer exist. So that is some of the work that I do, and people do end up manifesting, not just manifesting money, but they end up manifesting their best lives. A third thing, you work harder than your clients. Oh my god, this is a big one. This one is huge. I see this in so many women. They end up working so much harder than their clients to earn their fees. They apologize for invoices, payment reminders. It's a big sacral chakra block. Huge. And by the way, if you're watching the replay, please put hashtag replay on this. You're working harder than your clients. You're over delivering to earn your fees. No, 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 no. Your fees are your rates. Like, I really hate that. Like, I was a freelancer. I was a social media and digital marketing freelancer. And I worked on the corporate end for many years. I had a 9 to 5. I worked on the corporate end in the same field, marketing and branding and all that. And you constantly had to feel like you have to over deliver to earn your worth. And you work way harder than them, and you're apologizing for all of this stuff. Apologizing is huge in the corporate world. You had to apologize. I had to apologize for almost everything that I did. And that was a huge self-worth issue. That was a huge self-worth and confidence. That's solar plexus and sacral chakra. Solar plexus, sacral chakra, and all sorts of issues with your worthiness. Self-worth is such an issue when it comes to raising your rates and raising your prices and all of that stuff. You don't need to earn your worth because you're already worthy. I don't know how many of you guys listen to Bashar, but you guys need to listen to the there's a there's a video of him talking about self-worth. self-worth and self prosperity and why that's important. And if you don't feel like you can manifest anything, you have to look at the belief that you have. And he always says there's usually a belief that you have of you not feeling worthy of that thing. And when you feel like you have that you're not worthy of it, and you uncover why you're not worthy, and you know that it's not true, then all the beliefs will fall down. It's a house of cards. It falls down. Those limiting beliefs will fall down, and you can start manifesting what you want. That's essentially the secret to manifestation, knowing that you're worthy of it. Do you believe you're worthy? And it does go back to your lineage. Who here is a trailblazer? Raise your hand if you are a trailblazer in your family lineage. You're the one breaking chains, you're the cycle breakers. I want to know. Raise your hand. And if you're not a cycle breaker, you probably are if you're listening to this. You're listening to this or watching this, you probably are a cycle breaker in some way. And you are set. Your mission here is to set a different path than the rest of your family. Because your family is used to one way of doing things, the matrix way of doing things. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that movie, The Matrix. If you haven't, I highly recommend it. And I know I'm streaming on LinkedIn right now, and there's a bunch of you on LinkedIn that are very much corporate on there, and I'm not here to convince the corporate people to break out of the matrix. That's not what I'm trying to say here, but I do want to ask you guys, what is your deal with being in the 9 to 5? Not, and I understand not everybody, and here's the thing. If you don't want to be in your job, you don't have to, like, that's the thing, you don't have to. But if you really need to pay a job because you need the money, you need to have like all this stuff, like these are things that I can understand. And if making 80K a year can help you achieve the dreams and save the money you want, that works for you. I'm more than happy with that. But if you're not doing that, if you're in 9 to 5 because you want to be safe, because you think that's a safe thing to do, let me tell you something right now. I don't know if you watch the news lately, but having a job is the least safe thing. So I want to put that question to you, if you do have one. And it's not to fulfill a dream. It's not to fulfill like some sort of end goal for yourself. Why do you still have one? And again, I'm not talking about like survival needs, supporting families, and all that. That's a given, right? A lot of people like have jobs because of that. I'm talking about, do you have a job because you think it's a safe thing to do? That's the question I want to ask you. Because a lot of these things that I just mentioned, like especially number 3, were you working harder than your clients? I did that so much in my 9 to 5, working harder than a lot of the people that I was helping to serve. And it was a huge unworthiness issue. Look at your self-worth, know that you're worth more, and stop apologizing for everything. Your business is your chance. This business that you want, that you know that you can have, the one that you've been dreaming about, is the one time that you can break those chains that your lineage could not. So, if you are interested in diving deep and learning more about what chakras are blocked for you and how you can get over like a lot of these beliefs, a lot of these struggles that you may have in your business, give me a well, don't give me a call. I was about to say give me a call. Book a call with me using the link below. It's $22 to hold your space. And what you will do is you're going to get a mini energetic scan of your chakra or your current chakra systems. I'll see where your blockages are, get you clarity on your emotional patterns, on all of this stuff. Intuitive guidance, business intuitive guidance on your next step, and a chance to explore deeper mentorship. So if you are ready to take that next step in your business, whether you're seeking a purpose, your healing, or just your soul business clarity, this would be that first step for you. Again, it's $22 to hold your space. There are spots available towards the end of this week and up until the 21st of next week. I am actually going to be traveling to India for 5 weeks. I will be still doing calls then. If you want to do calls, and please, please, please book as soon as you can, because those spots are limited. They are limited. So I will be traveling to India on the 21st. It's 21st and 22nd are going to be travel days. And I'm just it's going to be hectic especially on those 2 days. So um, please book please book as soon as you can. Otherwise, yeah. Otherwise, you'll probably see me, and you can book also as well as then. But these spots are definitely limited, so don't delay. And I do feel like there might be spots available this weekend too. So if you want to do that, go ahead too. All right, guys. Happy Mercury in direct. And yeah, please, please, please look into your lower chakras and go deep into your family lineage. Start journaling it out. Where did these beliefs come from? That's a homework assignment. I want some of you guys to do that. Where do you think these things have come from? All right. Take very good care of yourselves. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will definitely see you next time. Okay, guys, bye. Take very good care of yourselves.